Star Wars Episode 9 serves as both the final film of the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself by writer and director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, if we look at the sequel trilogy, of course, as of right now, consisting of both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, a lot of people had problems with the second installment in this trilogy and are all really pretty much crossing their fingers that J.J. Abrams will be able to really knock it out of the park with Episode 9. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. Now, what's really interesting about J.J. Abrams and crew, Disney, Lucasfilm, and their vision for Episode 9 is that apparently their aim for this movie is to make it better than The Empire Strikes Back, which is also said to be the best Star Wars film to date. Now, I don't know if Episode 9 is going to be able to top The Empire Strikes Back. I don't know about you guys, but for them to aim that high, that seems very ambitious for a Star Wars sequel trilogy movie. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what kind of twists and turns are going to be coming our way, and what kind of storytelling and how it's going to be done with the characters like Rey, Kylo Ren, Luke, Lando, Leia, all these different aspects of Episode 9. It's not just about the twists and the turns and the surprises, right, that makes a good movie. It's really all about how the story is done and written by the writer, and of course how it's actually executed by the director, this of course being J.J. Abrams. Now, for them to aim so high in order to make this movie better than Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, I think it's really going to take a lot of surprises that make sense. Surprises that honestly reflect on both The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, in which some of those will. As we have heard, some of the twists and turns are going to change our perception of the past two Star Wars films and the sequels. As far as Episode 9 being better than The Empire Strikes Back and that being their aim right now, I think that's going to be a very tough thing to pull off. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with me, but I feel like that's nearly impossible to do by Disney and Lucasfilm to top The Empire Strikes Back. I feel like that you could just never catch lightning in a bottle again, as Mark Hamill has said it before, I believe it was at one of the Oscars. I don't think you really can. Empire Strikes Back is a hit classic. It's something of its own time. Nobody was really expecting any twists and turns, which also made it all the more special. Nobody was talking about, twists and turns. And I can understand how, discussing about potential, big, shocking moments and twists and turns in Star Wars Episode 9 can somewhat devalue the actual shock value of when it actually does come. Absolutely. That's what made The Empire Strikes Back so special, is because nobody was really talking about, is there going to be a big reveal? Is there going to be a big twist in this movie? Nobody was expecting anything, and I think that's what really made The Empire Strikes Back so very special of its own kind. And not just that, it had excellent storytelling. It just flows so very well, and that's another thing. It's all about how a movie flows, how a movie is actually going to go, the pace of the film. That's one thing that J.J. Abrams has to get down correctly in this movie. Now, the thing here is this. We do know that this movie is going to be the darkest film in the sequel trilogy. We also know that it takes place in or around 1 year after the events of The Last Jedi. So we are going to see some changes within Finn, Poe, Kylo, and Rey. Especially, of course, the character of Lando Calrissian coming back into play here by Billy D. Williams, which, by the way, is, of course, one of the big ways that Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to get the fans back into the theaters, is, of course, bringing back Lando himself. The whole plan about this sequel trilogy is that each and every film would have a major legacy character that would actually be focused on by the audience and, of course, by Disney and Lucasfilm creating the movies. So in The Force Awakens, you had Luke. In The Last Jedi, of course, you had the whole concept of Luke Skywalker actually being in the movie. Of course, the main focus in The Force Awakens was Han Solo, but it was really all about finding Luke. So Luke was basically a character in the background. Now in Episode 9, it's all focused primarily, for legacy characters, on Lando Calrissian and, of course, Leia Organa. And that's another thing, is that Leia is coming back by use of unused footage from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. That's another thing that I'm very curious about seeing, is exactly how they are going to pull that off correctly in this film. Now, as far as, this movie, we do know that they're really trying to do big things with it in order to make it very unique and original, and something that's really going to resonate with fans. A lot of fan service and nostalgia will be inserted into this film. And that's the other thing. If it's really going to be a movie that's going to be better than The Empire Strikes Back, I feel like it has to be a movie on its own, that makes its own value, that doesn't need nostalgia, that doesn't need fan service. If they can do something where, yes, it's a great story no matter what besides the nostalgia and the fan service, then I think it does have a great chance at beating The Empire Strikes Back. As far as that being their aim though, guys, I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be a very, near impossible task to pull off completely. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.